Hello and welcome to what I think is a rebuild tutorial or whatever. I'm really kind of mainly doing this for myself, but if anyone's interested, well, here you go. I am going to rebuild my board. Now, this is only for 1.1. The major recode is 2.0, which will be quite interesting. Now, what you are seeing right here is the two files, the main file, main PHP, and the other one, main PHP. And a little bit of an introduction to the system here that you may see. Now, all these files here, all these good little files here, they all are directed by this amazing little file right here. So, let's see. What it basically does is it directs our files and includes the required files that we need. And also, if it cannot detect the variable configuration file, then goes, oh, well, you must not install the board, or you want to reinstall it. Else it goes through this normal little everything thing. And this is to not catch the file and whatnot. So yeah. So basically, we require that to make sure we can connect to our database and everything. Then it includes functions.php, which points to all our functions. And then, of course, we go to our body PHP so we can get all our good HTML. Good HTML, man. Gotta love that HTML. So, okay, and I'm back. Sorry about that. I cut that out because, yeah, some things happened, and plus I needed to restart the database a bit. So, okay. As it says right here, no content found. There was no content found in this script. This is what I built in the functions. You actually don't need to do this, but whatever. I actually probably will get rid of this eventually because I really don't know why I use this anymore. So this just means there's nothing found. And let's look why. Well, first of all, we have this. What does this do? This is your window title. So you see your site name and then main. So we look at that and, well, there you go. There's site main. If you looked at the top of the browser, which you don't see because I'm only recording this little window here, is that, hey, look. I mean, there you go. And look, to get you into what everything is. This is main PHP right here. This points to a particular file that exists in this directory. But, you know, you have to do a few things and stuff and whatnot. But, yeah. So, yeah, it checks to make sure the file exists. If the file exists, hey, look, it points to it. And of course, you know, it checks to make sure the actual PHP file exists. But enough about that. We're here to recreate my new main page. Or we're here to create a new main page. So, unlike my other file, which I just wrote away, I'm used to just writing away. So, let me just close this. Okay. So I'm just used to writing away. I would have just, okay, let's see. What do we want here? What do we want? There's a few things we want in our main page. First, we want to tell the user, hey, here's the site's name, and just in case you don't know, you know, welcome to this site. Well, welcome to site. Whatever site name you happen to have. Then give you a little greeting, or whatever. It doesn't have to be a particular place, just put it somewhere on your main page. I mean, that is what a main page is for. You want to introduce user to the site. And like, okay, what are you about? What do you want? What do you have? Now I have a news script that I've created long ago, so that will be integrated as well. So we have those two things so far. And I also figured, maybe we could show the last 5 posts. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep that into the old design. I'll keep that from the old design and see if it fits. But it may not fit. So let's make this entertaining, because it has to be entertaining. This has to be entertaining. It's not just a tutorial. It's supposed to be entertaining. But I'm probably boring you, because it's PHP, and you're like, oh my god, PHP! Oh, I can't have PHP! Oh my god, I'm gonna die! Die! Die, monster! You don't belong in this world! But that's not what we want in our script. That's not what we want at all. So, what do we want? What do we want? We want stuff and things. So, okay. The old script, here's a little rundown of the old script. This is kind of condensed now because I wish I had 2 windows, but I don't. Sorry. Eventually I will, but... Okay, so... what this does is, like, if you're the owner, you have the ability to edit this page. Here's a little link that goes to edit main, and there's your little link. You click on the thing that says edit. There you go. Of course, if you're not an owner, well, you don't see it. It's just that. Some people would probably go else edit page equals nothing, so it's defined, but well, maybe I'll do that eventually in 2.0, but not now, because I'm rewriting to see if I can optimize, not to bore myself or to go on a random blah 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 stuff like that. Okay, so what do we want? Okay, so let's introduce let's comment on the next part. Okay, logged user mod news equals 1, meaning he moderates the news. Okay, or if he's an administrator, okay, then he gets to have this little page here that allows him to add news. Types in his little title, and then he puts in the text and goes, yeah, here's, let's see, welcome to the site. This site just now open. Blah 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 blah. Oh wait, I should do this. That way it looks like I'm typing. Okay, there's my message. I post it. There you go. But so you know, there's that loop. Okay. Main text equals make text, miscellaneous make text. Okay, so what does that do? Well, what does this function do, first of all? Well, this is basically the filter function. This filters every little thing that I don't want in the post. This site allows HTML, but it has to filter out unwanted tags and stuff like that. It's currently using a whitelist system, but eventually I'm probably going to overhaul everything. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Okay. So our body content. What does body content do? What does it do for us? Or better yet, let's go back to this. I didn't really describe this. Okay, main text. Main text. We are talking about the text of the introduction. Main text. And then we also have main title, which is the title of your site, like Welcome to Dimension Project. And then you would have your little text, and then look, hey look, this edit page, you know? If you're an owner of the site, you can edit this little text here and then go to another site. So that's nice. That's nice. We want that. That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, but excuse me, I had too much sugar, and if you don't like that, please send it in the comments below. I don't like you. You had too much sugar. I'm too crazy. Sorry about that. Alright, alright. So we select from the news, we order by ID, and it's descended, and we only limit it by the latest 5. So then while this variable is giving us results, and A is now the individual little fetched array, then we go, okay, see, a news title is for the title of that query, and we got the news text, and then of course we see our little friend make text again. So it's like, okay, the features of make text, it doesn't always have to rely on user. It's mainly relied on text, but you can feed it a user. So like if that user was HTML banned, well, he won't see any HTML from him. He'll be like, oh no, my HTML is all dead. And he can't use tags because, well, that can... I'm not sure. Maybe I'll allow that. I don't know. I'm redesigning everything, so everything is open. Everything is open. The world is open to me. Okay, so we got all this. I could go on about this. Oh, you may want to know what link user is. You know what an interval is if you know anything about PHP, but because that's a PHP little thing. But okay, link user. What is link user? It basically links the user and gives it a colorful little title or name. So if you see a name on the side, like, hey, here's an online user list. Oh look, we got a user called SuperDark. Let me show you what that looks like. This is the link user in action. One user online. There you go, SuperDark. And it's used here, and it's also used here. The latest user you are currently logged in as, and such. Okay, that's nice. That's fantastic. But we don't want to spend 13 minutes on little things. So let's continue on. Oh yeah, I need to describe the little bit of functions. That way you can at least follow along a little bit. This first video will be kind of long. But get used to it, because this is mainly for me or anyone else who wants to follow along, who's interested in this. But whatever. So this is date. This is what we get here is the date, the little punch card time from the time function in PHP, and then this formats that time and also does its little time zone thing as well. What am I trying to think of? It's I can't think. Why my brain not work? Oh well. Anyway, this I am probably not going to write, because I am going to create a function that does this. That way I don't have to type this bloody thing 100,000 times. Well, I don't really use it that often, but if you use something 10 times or more than 3 times, you probably want to make a function for it. That way, chances are you may use it again. But it depends. It depends if you want to rewrite code 1,000,000 times. Hint, don't. Okay, so let's go back into the rest of it. Okay, if you moderate the news and you're an administrator, okay, then editing, you see editing. Okay, so you can see the IP of the person who posted the thing. You'll also given the ability to edit this article and of course to delete it. And it's like, and then it, on click, it returns the it wants to return the confirmation. Are you sure you want to delete this article and all its comments? Yes. So, and then news list equals, there's the news title and the posted by and all the good stuff that's used. Alright, did I describe body content? I don't think I did. Sorry, this is my first time. My first time to kind of do a tutorial of sorts. Forgive me if I screw up or do something silly. But, I don't know. this is kind of a prelude, I guess. I guess this is going to be a prelude into some of the functions that I use. I mean, this is probably not going to help anyone too much, because I'm going to make a tutorial that is a little more, you know, hey, this is how you do stuff, rather than, oh, look, if you happen to have my board and you want to redo these files with me, then there you go. But whatever. Let me go over what body content does. In my board, I in body.php, or actually in functions.php rather, it includes. Oh wait. No. I'm thinking of body.php. Okay. So in body.php, after it's included, after all the functions have been defined and everything, and all the fun little things have been ran, halfway down the line, after it includes the body template, it will then include the file which whatever p equals and your get global, then that is excuse me. Alright, so let's see. I forgot where it was. Sorry about that interruption. I had to do another cut, but regardless. To go back on this, so body.php, when it includes that file, main.php, rather than printing it off immediately, I use body content as a variable. Then later on, it includes body content.php, which actually is kind of confusing if you're not careful. And then of course then it prints off body content, which I should do is like top body template or something. I should just call this content.php or dot. I should just $ content rather than body content, but whatever. It's a little confusing, so be kind of careful. Something to kind of consider when I redesign this, like maybe give it a better name, but whatever. Okay, so let's see here. And then we have the news section, which is, you know, here's a little comment telling me what's what. And then, you know, we have the news list, and add news, read more news, and stuff like that. Now we're selecting all threads. Okay, so this is actually what I use to basically make an array of out of all the threads. So I just, you know, I take every thread and ID them, that way I can get all the information of every thread. Now I could do this a little differently, like select ID, name, etc., etc. So that's another thing to consider. Only really select what you need from the actual query rather than select all. That's why I'm doing this optimization run through. So something to look at, something to think of. So we got link thread as the array, and then when you give it an ID, so let's just say we picked 1 as the ID to go through this array. It looks at it and goes, okay, ID 1 has a match, and then let's just say the thread's name was deletion thread, because that's what I have at my site. So we picked the deletion thread. We got that as a name, and of course, if you wanted any other information, really that's. Oh yeah, we also need to select forms in thread, because well, that's what we're also going to try to match. And then we select all forms. We only really need the ID, the and name, or something like that. So I think that's all we're using. Let's see, latest posts, last limit, 5. That, yeah, like if I wanted to make the last 10 threads, then that would change. And then it'd even say last limit posts. So, you know, that's nice. So select from posts, order by ID, descending, limit, the last limit, and then while, you know, post q equals post, you know, or post, well, post equals this, we'll fetch it from the array of, from the MySQL database. We get all this good stuff here. We got thread ID from the post thread. Then we get thread from the thread link. We use this array now. So like you're just, as again, let's just say post thread equals 1. So the thread ID is 1 from this post, the latest post. And then we go through here, okay. See, thread ID equals 1, so we take that, okay. 1's here, and thread ID equals 1, so we go through and look at our little array here and go, okay, it equals 1, so we grab that array. So we're looking at everything thread has in that array. So we got its name, its ID, and even its sticky status, which isn't really important, but there you go. Then you got form ID. Again, as I said, we need to also include, if we were going to be selective of what we want to select from all threads, we also want to do the form. So really, all we need is ID, name, and form from threads, I think. So once we have that, then we also use the other link array, and then we select it. Now this is going to be kind of a boring video because this is kind of an introduction to what I'm going to do. This is pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a video first of handling the situation, tackling it, and then actually a video of doing the actual work. Of course, the second video is probably going to be longer because, well, actually maybe even quicker because explaining is tricky because, you know, I have to go do stuff and, you know, explain things in a way that you may understand. So, although I may be doing a not so good job, so sorry about that. Alright, so a little explanation of this. New permission, false. Local mods, false. New thread post, false. The reason for this, new permission is basically a variable in make post, which is my post making function. Basically that allows you to see, normally you would get an array, or it would look in the database to see if you have a new permission for a certain form, to see any threads in it. Since of course we're not doing anything like that, or actually technically we could, like let's just say you have permission to see form 65, because that's an odd form number, but whatever. And you've been given permission to see some form about dandelions, because why not? A form about dandelions, yes. A form about dandelions, because why not? I had to make this video interesting somehow. So we get a form about dandelions on ID 16.5. You normally don't have permission, but thanks to my site, you have an administrator give you permission in the form permission editor. So you have permission to see it. This would give you permission if it was pointing to the database. However, I really either A, got lazy here, or just don't care, and I just would rather restrict out. So it's just false because, well, it's false. Local mods basically would give you a link to edit the post or whatever if you moderated the form for that post. However, I just have it false because we shouldn't show any link other than the link in the post, like the link to the actual post. So that's just false too. New thread post, that actually should actually point to something if I wanted to show that you've read the post or not. But, yeah, I may need to do some work here. But a little later, we're just tackling the issue or trying to see what all we need first. So then, latest posts equal the make post, and you may notice that there's a little dot here. That is the string command, or whatever you want to call it, that chains up this variable together. Like, okay, when we display this again, we'll have every time that this is printed or done in this loop, anything that make post gives us, we'll have all the rows for it. Like if I have more than 5 posts, it would give us 5. So I would see 5 little rows of me posting or whatever. But of course we won't have that except we'll only have 2. So I only posted 2 times. And that was before this rewrite, so it's a test board, so there you go. Okay, so if we do not have any latest posts, then latest posts equals, hey look, there's currently no posts here. Sad face, all alone forever. And then of course, then we print out the by content. Now we have the last post section. And then we go, okay, last 5 posts. If we have 10 posts, it would say last 10 posts. Then of course, here's after this, all the HTML printed from make post will display here, and there you go. That's the file. That's the file currently as it is on my old board. It's fantastic. It's just wonderful. But there are some ways I could do this slightly better. Just maybe, do this a little better and make something possibly interesting. So, now the question remains, what do I want? And how do I want it? And how do I want it displayed? And, stuff like that. So, I mean, I normally just start typing up stuff, so yeah, maybe we'll just do that. We'll just start typing up stuff. Maybe I'll do stuff later. Okay, so we're just going to put up this other statement here because really I could have just copied it, but whatever. Copying and pasting makes you lazy, so I'm trying not to do that too much. So we're just going to call it the edit page because, well, why not? So let's see here. Let's see. Alright, so we're adding the link to wait, I just noticed something. Huh. I don't have quotation marks. I can't allow that. Base URL. Also, that variable, just in case you don't know, is basically the base URL of the site. Like if you added if it was this is mainly for people who have a subdomain or like a different base URL rather than relying on one thing and whatnot. Let's see here. Okay, so all we're linking to here is edit main. So you click it, then it takes you to that right here. Okay, so class to give it that color depending on the scheme I use. Okay. So that's basically it right here. That's just a link. 1,000,000 scripts to go. Okay. So I am going to continue after this renders or whatever. I'm going to have to make a few cuts because it's not perfect and some of it's kind of dull. There's little blunders and stuff like that. So bear with me. I hope you enjoy this. It's probably going to not be too interesting for some of you people, but if you're interested in, making a site or whatever, then download my board, maybe follow along, try to learn some of the mistakes, and, my hope is that people learn from what I've done. And, if you have questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer at least most questions. Because, well, yes, there are such things as stupid questions, like, irrelevant questions like, why do you exist, and where's my pizza? Okay, good sir, why are you asking me for pizza? I think you're the strange person. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so, anyways, yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for whatever I plan to use this for.